Hello and welcome. I am the Imperishable. So, last week we had a look at the Grand Joust, talking about the tournament itself, breaking down kind of the missions with the narrative missions and reason why me and Ben have chosen this kind of more fun, dumb kind of list and why we've kind of gone down that route rather than kind of try and sweat it out because it's meant to be a bit of fun Christmas game tournament before we get into the Christmas holidays. So they're looking to try and do that every year, so it'd be fun for the next one. I think me and Ben are already talking about roughly what we're going to do, depending obviously what Arcane Journals come out before then. So, as you can tell, probably right the fun now, me and Ben did go on to win it. We didn't go in with the intention to win it. We were very much just up for, let's just run at each other. No real strategies, but just playing our armies correctly as much as we can. So if you want to see our list, mine and Ben's list, my kind of full Khorne list and Ben's kind of Exiles list, please look at the previous video and it will explain it there and on the missions there. So let's get into the mission 1 and see how we did. So on to game 1. So we were playing Rob and Paul. So Rob is the owner of Firestorms. I've played him quite a few times recently. I think every tournament I seem to always play him either first or quite nearly first. And he doesn't really enjoy the Mortuary Cult. So it was nice for him to have a different kind of game versus us. But unfortunately, this mission probably wasn't great for them. So they were a joint dwarf list because in the doubles they were allowed to have both be dwarfs, but they had to be different armies of infamy. So Paul was the Royal Clans with the Hammerers and Slayer unit. Whereas Rob was the X-Force, so he had quite a few gyrocopters, he had a big kind of Thunderers unit and whatnot. So this mission was the really weird one where it was split into eighths and we were allowed to drop a unit at a time. So me and Ben won the role of the deploy and we thought this was really crucial because we had a bit of practice and I had a chat about it, is that you get a +1 if you finish deploying first, and if you go deploy first you'll always finish first because the idea is everyone puts 2 units in and then you can put a character in one of your blocks as well. So this is just after kind of deployment. We've done our first mission. So if we have a look there, so bottom left, I put in some, bottom left, I put my hounds, just to kind of press the middle. We did get the first drop, actually, I was talking about this. We had our peasant bowmen just in the middle because we strung them out because our idea is like we can charge from anywhere really, and we kind of got a rule wrong. We thought we could put my demon prince in there just so we can charge around. This is something we kind of worked out that works really well. We put 1 unit of knights of errant on the top right just to kind of force this charge because everyone was putting everything there. Ben put his his hippogriff, kind of where those peasant bowmen is. My demon prince went far left, kind of deal with these hammers. I put my chosen knights at the top left because he put down an organ gun. I was like, I'll just come at you. If we get turn 1, it's great. If we don't, hopefully they'll survive. So we did get turn 1, which was really lucky, and I think this was really key because it meant we got to bring in all of our units quite early. So both my knights, one went either in my top deployments, and on the right hand side, Ben brought in 1 unit of knights there and 1 unit of knights at the bottom, and also his wizard. So with this mission, you have to pass the leadership chest to be allowed to charge. And we got a bit confused, obviously, I've been frenzy, but we played it. If I fail it, I can't charge. Because the whole point is we want to charge. So I'm like, I'll take the frenzy. My demon prince failed. So it meant he wasn't allowed to charge, but he was allowed to act as normal. So we've just moved my demon prince up to kind of just deal with that in the middle. Ben's Knights Errant failed to charge the Slayers because we were hoping to maybe just hit them in the side and just kind of run through them. It should be an easy kind of kill there, but we unfortunately didn't. But his Hippogriff did come up. My Chaos Chosen at the top were brilliant. They were brilliant all game. But they did charge. They dropped a lone sapper there just to be annoying. So like, it's the dangerous terrain test. So I went to charge. I passed all my dangerous terrain test. Then we go into their shooting where I lost 2. I was like, I have the -1 to hit banner, stand shoot, but he had the basically like special sapper, so each hit was 2d3 extra hits, so he killed 2 then. As you can see, Paul's celebrating that he's brought down 2 of me, but I did get in and go forward. So kind of turn 1 and kind of set the precedent. So his Ben's big hippogriffs in the unit of, I think they are just Thunderers or Corollas, or no, they are Rangers with their Runesmith Thane. So kind of in the game, they just kind of cleared them out and gone through there. My chosen knights at the top clear that. The hounds, because the whole idea is we get the demon prince in, and then we kill them out. The hounds are just there for a bit of combat rares and maybe kill 1 or 2. But unfortunately, I didn't get my demon prince in, so they didn't really do much. This is just kind of looking at where my knights have deployed. They come on the flank. The idea is we're just going to push all the way across. On Ben's side, his knights are kind of in that position, because we worked out that they can only come in their own deployment zones. So it was kind of predictable where they could come in. So unfortunately, I didn't really get many photos of this. We're just into the thick of it, really enjoying it. So I'll just talk about it through the rough game. So at the top, Rob's basically entire army comes on that top with his gyrocopters and his big thunderers unit. My Chaos Knights, after their first turn, killed and overran the organ gun. I killed and I overran, but I didn't get enough to get off the side. So I was like, oh, I will attempt to restrain, because then I could go backwards and try and hit the thunderers and go off the board and try and protect them there. That's what's happened. I hit them, killed them, they fled off the board. My Chaos Knights chosen fell off the board. Basically, what kind of happened in that top is that those 2 gyrocopters there, they just kept shooting off the knights, trying to kill them off. But I had a lone Chaos chosen who, on his own, was probably worth 250 points just because the cost of the unit. Just survived on 1. He fired everything into him. I kept getting hit. I got down to the last turn, which we're seeing here. I rolled 3 5-ups to keep him alive. So it was brilliant. It was magical. On the kind of right-hand side, basically, it was, since turn 1, we kind of knew what was going to happen, just because we were able to clear through 1 unit at a time. So we got to a point where we wanted to get rid of this hammers block, just because we think it's a lot of points, and it's where they had he had Ungrim in there, he had 10 hammers in there, so it was a big 500, 600 point unit, but we knew we had to charge at the same time. Otherwise, if my Demon Prince went in and he didn't, it wouldn't work. So that's kind of what happens. There's a really cool kind of photo coming up now. We got to it, it's literally on the last turn. We got the Demon Prince and Leonka into just the lone champion and Ungrim. So I went for a challenge, because I was like, they should challenge either way, it doesn't really matter. But then they accepted with my Demon Prince versus Ungrim, and we think it was the wrong decision, if it was properly sweating it out. But Paul wants to go for more thematic, have a bit of fun, so he was like, that's what Ungrim would do, and Ungrim would probably go after the Demon Prince. But I had the Enchanting Aura, so he had to fight last. I had the Ogre Blades. I got, I think, 3 wounds through, so it killed him, regardless, even with the ward saves and whatnot. I think I rolled 7 damage, and then obviously Prince Leonka killed off the champion. And that was game. I think we lost about 200, 500 points, and we won by, anyway, it was a 20-0. I say it was from the get-go. We're trying to have a bit of fun and dumb, so we were like, we're going to put everything on the line. If we get turn 1, we are going to charge everything that we can. So here's just another kind of photo kind of throughout the game. So it's just a really good fun. Rob's great fun to play with. Paul's really probably more into his Warriors Chaos, so we had good chats talking about how to run Demon Princes properly. But yeah, that's game 1. We've won 20-0, and we're into game 2. So, into game 2. Okay, we were versus Ollie and Ellie. Ollie is kind of like the Team Wales kind of representative. Me and him, we've had a few chats trying to talk about it. He's registered the Welsh team or interest for the Square Base tournament, so it'll be really interesting to see what we can bring up there. Oliver's a phenomenal player and not just a fantasy player. He's played a lot of 8th, he's played a lot of 9th, he's been part of that ETC kind of scene, so he's very pinpoint to the bone. Obviously, he's playing Beasts of Chaos and Warriors of Chaos, so we're basically, as you can see, all of us just want to charge at each other. Obviously, though, we want to play a bit serious rather than just getting out. We thought potentially if we get turn 1, we can get all the charge ranges, and it was just meant to help us out. But unfortunately, they did get turn 1. I said Ollie's a really good player, and he's played Beastman basically solely this edition. He's dabbled in a few kind of fun lists like Ogres, but Beastman's where he's at, so he's really good at kind of frenzy bounty out, which really helps because my entire army is frenzy. But yeah, it's a really good game. I'm going to have a chat with Oliver soon, talking about the Welsh Open, reading for rules, seeing why other tournaments are kind of following it, and see where he thinks the game is going. So, let's go on. So this is what our deployment is. We obviously did tactical, but we were like, we just want to charge each other. We've both got Chaos Knights units. He's got those chariots. We've got those knights. So this is just kind of the view. So the impending doom of the warriors of Khorne and Exiles, and then facing down just multiple chariots and knights galore. So we were just having it's a good game. So this is their turn one. So they got the roll off. I think they've just pushed up to kind of get moving ranges. Unfortunately, this was amazing play by Ollie. He's dropped in a ball that we have to charge with Frenzy. Annoyingly, we did have Vanguard on the Chaos Wolf Warhounds, but I was like, we don't need to kind of go. So it really messed us up, because if you see from the next image, all of my stuff is down there ready to get charged by 2-3 chariots with Chaos Knights coming in. So basically, I think at this point we've just accepted we've lost all that. It's about 600 points there, just lost. We're just wondering how long can we hold them up for, and then how many, because basically we're wondering, can we kill everything else, try and grind out 10-10, maybe our Demon Prince and Ben's Hippogriff can go through, clear those things. So this is our turn one. We've just got into ranges. We made it so his knights at the top can't charge. Actually, no, we had to charge. We rolled a double one for our charge. So we went to there. So we were outside of their charge ranges. Ben's kind of knights is just there to keep back, because we have the range on them. I've moved my Demon Prince up here because Ellie also had Chaos Knights who were Frenzy. So I try and Frenzy bait them out, because they'll fight last. I try and clear them out and kind of go forward from there. But unfortunately, it doesn't really work like that. So I would see it with the next photo, but this is basically the last photo we have. What basically happens is we lose this right flank with all my Chaos Knights. We semi-win the top flank. So we kill his knights, we kill a chariot, we kill off the dragon over, so it's lots of points. That's it, basically what we kill. But that's basically all they kill of ours as well. They kill all the knights down there. We have to end on turn 4. And this is kind of the game state of when it ends, because of just time. And we were chatting to Ollie afterwards, and this is the only reason why we got a 10-10. So on the top right, we've cleared off all his Chaos Ogres. We're turning around ready to try and charge. I didn't get into this chariot that fled, but we lost one unit of knights, kind of thing. But it was a really fun game. It was very nitpicky. Literally, we were reading rules, trying to make sure we get everything right. But it was a really good learning game. And obviously, because Ben was playing Exiles, he was able to flee with his knights. So we were able to keep probably 300 points alive. That kept us this 10-10. So end of game 2 versus Ollie and Ellie. It was a 2-2 versus them. So we're both of us have got a win and a draw. So we're going into the final game. I'd just say me and Ben were just here to have a bit of fun, but that was a very tough game, and Ollie has played it very well, and so did Ellie. So that's game 2. Let's go on to game 3. So, on to game 3. So, me and Ben were versus Steve and Owen, who were taking High Elves and also Brett's Exiles. So, High Elves player, he had a big kind of bust with Silver Helms, trying to just charge and hit hard. He also, in there, had his Mage, level 4, to really buff them up. And the idea is this meant to be this unbreakable, unkillable blob. He also had a Griffin, who was BSB, so I really like this idea. So, it makes it so you can have your wizard as your general to try and be a bit more protective on a Griffin. So it's a bit like the Hippogriff, so it doesn't have skirmish, so it plays fairly. And a repeatable for and some Sisters of Avalon, who I now have a proper kind of respect for. And then the Brett's player had 2 units of Peg Knights, a Bombard, a Killing Baron, some Peasant Bowmen, and some Knights Errant. So we were playing Meeting Engagement. On our side, the only thing we lost was my Chaos Knights. Chosen Knights, which was semi-good, semi-bad. So obviously it would be nice to have the threat, but it was more like it was 250, 300 points that we knew they probably weren't going to get. Because if I bring them on the left-hand side, I can just kind of protect them from getting shot. But on their side, the High player didn't lose anything, but the Brett's player probably lost 2 of the most important bits for him. So he lost his Bombard and his Vanguard and Peg Knights, and also a unit of Knights of the Realm. So it was actually quite big. We were quite probably winning there. I'd say we're just trying to go at them. So we've got a nice long cavalry line trying to press, because they can't charge everything. And if we have 3 units trying to get in there, we should be okay. So Stephen O, they were a great pair, they were really on it. They were really trying to play it perfectly. We had some great conversation. We were talking about all things afterwards. We were talking about A Song of Ice and Fire, and they were really lovely to play with, and hopefully we'll see them down the club at Firestorm soon. So this is our deployment. They won the roll-off, and so kind of what they did is they just kind of pressed up a bit, kind of just to give us that bit of like fight. So if we have a look at this next photo, this is after our turn 1 as well. So the Peg Knights kind of moved into position just so they can hit anything, also with the Royal Griffin. Our Knights kind of just pressed up everywhere, just be like target saturation, just be like, you can't charge everything, let's really press. On the left hand side we set it up so the Chaos Knights and the Baron, if you charge one, he would have to hit both. We were talking about this whole, because we're so close, you can't wheel enough, or because of maximizing, you're going to touch us anyway. So there's all that. So that was our kind of thing. And obviously with my Demon Prince, I set it up so I couldn't be hit, couldn't be shot, but I'm there to either help on the left-hand side, which I don't think we need with a unit of Knights and the Duke, the Baron, but it's more this kind of pushing to the right-hand side, just to give it a bit of cover. We have one unit of Knights stay back or move far away because we lost 3 or 4. Realistically, we either should have pressed or just kind of run them away, because we just could basically give away these Knights of the Realm. So that's kind of like our deployment. Unfortunately, I'd say I've been involved in just playing it and we haven't taken many photos. But like kind of what happens is he charges his Knights on the left-hand side. We kind of win that fight and kind of push up. So if you have a look here, this is kind of after it all. So we kind of win this fight on the left-hand side, and we slowly just over the rest of the game kind of just push up. His Baron kills him and then starts going through the Sister Avalon into his lines there. My Chaos Knights go around the side and try and clear off the War Machines, which they do. We finally get into the Bolt Thrower, so it was really good to see that. So the key thing here, and one of the key things, I'm really annoyed I didn't get a face of it. So his Baron, Flying Baron at the top right, charges the unit of Knights of the Realm in the middle, okay? He's got all this Furious Charge, he's got all this. So we challenge out. He does like 1 wound, and like, 2 wounds, but it was enough that it was a tied combat. So we both just sat there, and we're like, okay, Grohl, we weather the storm. The idea is like, we've got to hold his Peg Knights, and this was probably the funniest thing of this tournament, and we were laughing at it, and we both agreed, well, we all agreed at the end of the game, like, if this didn't happen, I don't think we would have won how much we won by. So he rolls it, they can't fail kind of thing, which they couldn't. There's physically no way they could fail. He rolls a double 1 on his charge, so he has to take a 1. And then on his Swift Stride, I see how many, he rolls another 1. So we measured it, and only 1 Peg Knight could get in. And so he only had 4 attacks, and obviously Brett's have their 3 up, so they're quite tough. He only does 1 wound, and we only give ground. We rolled enough, and after that, and on my turn, I'm within range with my Demon Prince. Obviously, the Demon Prince with Flight does no Swiss Strike, which really hurts it. But we were like, oh yeah, I need a 6. Like, I've got to charge anyway. I'm Frenzy, and if I get in, it'll be magical. And we roll, and I get a 6 and a 5, and we're both like, we're all just looking at it like, well, he's in then, and we're like, that alone made it so this Demon Prince is now getting in, killing things, and it's a threat. And on that turn where he charges, I don't do a single wound with the Demon Prince. I'm miffed. I'm mad. I'm like, he's got 7 attacks, strength 8, -3. Like, you don't have a ward save. It's on your 5 up. It's D3 damage. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. But in the end, it was actually a bit of a blessing, because that turn, their next turn, they were able to use their cannon and their bolt thrower. So I was like, oh, I can't be shot. And then he charged his Griffin in, because he thought, like, I kind of have to do something here. He challenged out. I accepted it. He got to fight first with his lance. Didn't do any wounds to me. And then I just killed his Griffin. And I got like 10 wounds through. So I got the max combat racks I could. And it meant we actually won the combat. So from this position here, if you're looking on the photo, we were very much like, okay, we've lost this unit. And he's probably going to overrun into the Chaos Knights. And we're thinking, alright, this has kind of gone badly. But over the next like 2 or 3 turns, everything that from that one bad dice roll, we've been able to kind of cascade forward with the Demon Prince. And probably one of the other MVPs is this unit of Knights of the Realm. They lasted about 3-4 combats with this Duke Baron. And so it meant that I think we actually won the last one on their their turn 4. So it meant my Demon Prince, after it's killed everything basically, it charged the Baron, killed the Baron, overran because it had to, reformed, and now this is, I think, their turn, or our turn 5 about to be. So I charge these knights, kill them, pull them off. My Chaos Knight's going to charge the flank here. So there's not a lot left. There's one unit of kind of peg knights. We made it just so that they were out of range, because otherwise I would have definitely have charged that way. We agreed that that's just what the thing was. So they kind of run away. This Outcast Wizard, we were like, if we put them out anywhere, it's just going to get sniped. And we're like, let's just hide it so you physically can't see it. So that's all it did. These are like Peasant Bowmen. They were on a double one, but they last like 3 turns on our rally because they just kept running like 2 inches. But they did, unfortunately, succumb to the fleeing. So this is kind of the end of it. I'd say we're looking up a few rules, just having to chat about a few things. But we basically tabled them. But from the very start, we were like, this is going to be hard. They've got probably the better advantage. They've got peg knights. They're hitting us. But because of a 1-1 on their pegs roll, it lost them the game. And we were just like, literally, if they rolled another inch and they got another base in, even if they didn't kill it, I wouldn't have been able to. But it's only because of the conga line, because only one of them could touch base. But they could all be that. It was massive. And that's the whole point. It is a dice game. So that was that game. We won 19-1. So that meant we got the victory. So me and Ben, here we are. Ben loves to take the mick out of my face here. But yeah, we did win. We got 49 points, I think, was it? No. Yeah, 49 points out of 60. 2 wins and a draw. As I say, if that second game didn't go, if we were able to play at turn 5, we probably would have been as like a slight loss. So I don't think we would have won overall. But it was really good fun. Everyone was in good spirits. David and Gareth there, they were the ones who were hosting it, kind of part of our kind of club at the moment. So it was really good. It was a really good experience. And it was just really good fun. And we're just hoping for the next one. So before I do kind of a final speech, I just want to have a talk about kind of the painting standards. So at lunch, we put everyone had to put up a unit, try and have a look at it. So I put up my Demon Prince because I know it was the only kind of thing I semi-painted alright. But like going through it, we had some really good quality painted. So we had this really cool troll, which was a giant. Ben put out his damsel who was playing an Outcast Wizard because he thought Tits would win in the game. As I said, that's Rob's Ungrim kind of Hammerers unit. But unfortunately, the unit that won, and it was the one I voted for, was Sarah West. So Adam West's someone I played a few times. He's really good love. Wife won it with this Necro High Priest on a dragon, and it was amazing. Kind of the eye color, it was really good, and it was the whole thing was like she's never played it before. She turned up because Adam wanted someone to go with, and she smashed it, and it was really good, and it was really good to see. So some really good painting quality overall, and definitely a deserved winner. So that was the tournament. I'd say it was a fun kind of a doubles tournament. 3 good games, 1-2, drew 1. So it was really good fun. It was nice to play with the Warriors of Chaos and not just sit back with the Colts. With the next kind of South Wales Dragons Gaming Club, I think the next tournament's looking at March, and it's back to a singles tournament with the idea of potentially a teams tournament up in summer when everyone's a bit more free. But obviously the next tournament is the Welsh Open. So I will be playing in the Welsh Open. Kind of my 2 choices at the moment are some sort of Tomb Kings or some sort of Warriors of Chaos, because of one of the rules that you have to have unit strength 10, and a Chaos Dragon is unit strength 10, so you can play the missions quite well. I will be speaking to Ollie next week, so breaking down the tournament, reasons for certain restrictions, and what kind of comps he thinks are going forward. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!